Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Wednesday. It's been a long week. Sorry about the Friday. Unfortunately, we did do a G.I. Joe Classifieds unboxing. However, somehow it got so I did the unboxing for the Thundercats, and somehow that copied over the G.I. Joe Classified unboxing. So I had two of those. It's a weird thing. I don't get it. We did unbox Copperhead, Crystal Ball, and Rattaro. I have to admit, I am a huge Copperhead fan. Unfortunately, the figure itself is great, but it doesn't come with much besides a machete and a pistol. I get it, it is the water moccasin driver. But it would have been great to have some kind of other weapon. Raptor, I love, except he doesn't really stand well with his wings. He's pretty back heavy. And Ledger, for some reason, the holes are on the bottom. So it's a weird thing. Kind of have to turn the fists upside down, at least on my figure. Crystal Ball is amazing. There has been reports of elbow problems with the figure. And you can actually see where the problems will be. As far as the three figures go, my biggest problem was Copperhead. His elbows wouldn't bring up his arms. They felt pretty stiff, and I didn't want to break the figure. But all three are great figures. We got an incredible G.I. Joe Classified podcast. Not really a podcast, but we got some figures we were able to pre-order. We got to look at several other figures that are coming. I don't really know how I feel about the 2-pack of Ninja Force. I kind of like the Scarlet we have. But I do want the other character, T-Bang. I wasn't a huge fan of the Ninja Force by the time they actually came out. I was starting to get out of G.I. Joe. Definitely want the Toxo Viper. There are definitely a lot of things I kind of want. And now we're getting even more rumored leaks of what's coming next for classifieds. A 400, I don't know if I believe it, but a $400 G.I. Joe vehicle, supposedly the Warthog. For me, excuse me, if that was true, I'd save it for next year's HasLabs. Although I'd rather have the Mauler. This shows the spoiler. A lot of people are complaining about the price. I get it. Completely understand the complaints. However, at the same time, looking at the video, this thing will be almost about the size of the All-Striker and the Vamp. So I can definitely see that it should cost about the same price. And because of the inflation, 110 sounds about right. Which is crazy, but I get it. That might be what I put there. Right there. I'm getting it because I want the figure. And I think it would fit there. I still want the Cobra Asp to kind of fit over there. Lots of the classified stuff's coming out. Can't wait for that. Few Star Wars figures coming out they can't wait for. But at the same time, waiting gives me time to catch up on other of my collections, which is great. But today, we finally unboxed Rattaro. Hopefully I can... He comes with an extra head. His two size, some Thunderbolts, the shootout, some fire that goes up, extra hands, and Hammerhand. Comes with an extra hand, some gold pieces, a gun, an extra head. I definitely love the Super 7's version of the Thundercats. We do have Ultraman coming in, which is great. We do have Conan coming in, which is great to fill up the open space or at least one of the figure spaces for my Knights and Barbarians figures. These look insane. But also I got more room for more Thundercat figures. So it's a win, maybe not. But let's get into these. We are kind of almost finished with the Thundercats. As we got 3 figures left. Same background. I do have to order Safari Joe. Now that I kind of understand the room, possibly Hachima, but I still have a lot of small room. So we do have some extra hands for Hammerhand. We got some gold pouches. Technically 2 of them. As that's how Hammerhand and his berserkers like to get paid. So this is just a fist. It's just like the normal hand. So unfortunately, no, I am not planning on getting the other berserkers. As I was so as much as I like the berserkers, like the lunatics, I love the characters. I'm just not fan enough to collect them. I mean, this hand was made for the gun. That's pretty great. So this one stays, but this one you can actually open up, which is cool, but it doesn't make the fist that one is. Does this move? It moves a little. But so I don't get that in one of the very first appearances Hammerhand makes, he is a ghost that Mumra summons, and all of a sudden now he has his own body. As well as a crew. But I will say I've always been a fan of Hammerhand. He was a pretty cool looking character. I never could find them in the original Thundercats toys. So I'm happy to actually have the Super 7 figure. Rattaro again has his own head. Some extra hands. This one he's pointing. This one he's grabbing onto stuff. That went flying. But there are holes in the back to insert these things where it shoots out, or you can somehow put these on. Which is pretty cool. If you can get it on. Rattaro is pretty massive. As far as figures go. Like, seriously, the tail doesn't move, but look at the size of this thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's like rubber. This is definitely harder than you'd expect. Because it feels it should be gripping to something, and yet it's not. Maybe that'll make it stay. This is definitely a pain to do. I mean, you guys can already see the size difference. This is insane. But it looks amazing. So yeah, we got like 2 gold bags. This extra head that was on them. 3 extra hands. The extra fists. He looks menacing. I love it. Two extra heads, 2 extra hands. His laser thingies, which fits on the other side of his size. If you want. The scope looks pretty great. The details. Fricker got abs. Skull with little bone accessories. The nails look insane. I think he's got waist movement as well. Imagine him and Ultraman standing next to him. Yeah, I'm seriously happy with these figures. So of course, start off with the G.I. Joe, Raptor, Copperhead, Cristobal. This Friday, we got the Ninjas, Slice and Dice, One to Make, what's his name? Night Creeper Leader, Storm Shadow. We're leaving 2 slots open for Headhunter and Cesspool. Technically, I'm going to put Headhunter back there, behind, either behind or in front of Copperhead. You got room for Voltor and Miss Armada. One more row, which would probably be Tomac, Zaymot, Major Blood, and Baroness, Mindbender, Cobra Commander, and possibly Serpentor with the Cobra Law area. So it's kind of working out. We'll definitely have to see how that turns out. But with this, we still have room for Voltron and somebody else. Hopefully Safari Joe, Hammerhand, and again somebody else. One more row. So I'm thinking Mongor, the Mirror Lino, and Groon the Destroyer, which will be next week's 3-pack of opening. So this is pretty damn insane. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots open. But there are a lot of great characters within the Thundercats universe. Like I said, I am thinking of Hachiman, the samurai. He is technically a good guy, but Mumra has turned him bad twice. There's also the Bounty Hunter, Demolisher, if they make him. There is Driller, if they make him. Honestly, I am kind of a lost for ideas for characters. But I'm sure they will be making a ton of characters. I hope. At least my mob is kind of finished. Like I said, once we turn them facing that way, so far nobody has fallen. And we have a ton of room. Truthfully, I think this would have taken up literally the whole spot, as well as this. But literally we have one extra full row to fill up with a couple spots. So Super 7, if you're listening, I would love Driller, Demolisher, there was that toxic guy from the men that the three criminals that escaped. Truthfully, worst comes to worst, Captain China and the pirate, although they're not my favorite characters. We could also pick up the three berserkers. Again, not my favorite characters, but look at that. Rattaro is literally the same size as Mumra. Slav is the smallest, but he's the leader. I love it. Just as much as I love this. Yeah, there's nobody the size of Monstar. Not even Mumra. Well, guys, I hope you liked this unboxing. Like I said, stay tuned. This Friday, the Cobra Ninjas. And then next week, the three final pieces for now. Until Vulture comes in, until I can order Safari Joe. And then until Super 7 brings out the rest of the characters. Poker Face would be insane. I'm not a fan of Yes Man, but I mean, he is part of the mob. So, I mean, everything is turning out pretty insane. We got a ton of G.I. Joes. Well, not a ton. So this would probably take another 3 weeks. Should be finished with this by next week. I am hoping by the time we finish with this, we can do, well, it is high time we got these done. Still not finished. We still need Xanatos and Eliza. Eliza has gone up in price though. But for the most part, they're kind of finished. So we could probably get into that after this. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Be safe. For us Hawaii guys, hope you guys survived the storm. Be dry. Aloha.